G'day and welcome to Game 2 in this series between, or best of two series between EG and PSG.LGD. EG took Game 1, which was, I'm not going to say super surprising, but I'm going to say in the fashion that they took Game 1, I think is surprising. I don't think anyone expected LGD to lose so easily to EG. And probably even saying that LGD were the favored team.
10 seconds remaining. PSGLGD's turn to ban.
So second round, or second game, first phase of bans. LGD remove the Undying. See who they also take out. EG just get rid of the Morphling. They're not having any Morphling.
10 seconds remaining.
Just first phase ban this carry hero that's just a little too strong.
5 seconds remaining.
And you can see that the heroes like the Enigma, the Marcy, the Primal Beast, these heroes that have been first phase banned for regionals and for last chance qualifiers
Evil geniuses turn to
are you know, not immediately being banned. Chen's actually coming back into favor of being banned. Chen has seen a long hiatus, but now back among the top tier teams. Chen is still valued as a really strong hero with these drafts that just want to push together, want to be together, want to get a bunch of auras all up and running at the same time, and you know, be pretty much unkillable. And you saw what they did there that game EG. They just had the armor from Game 1. They just had the armor from the Sven. Now, it's not something that you really obviously notice. It's not something that you go in the middle of a team fight, you go, oh my goodness, the armor from the support Sven. You know, it's not something that's really shoutcast worthy, but it's just something that's really impactful against a physical damage lineup.
10 seconds remaining.
LGD will pick the first Primal Beast. First Primal Beast. Sounds like he's the original. Pick Primal Beast in their first pick. So this time not giving it over to EG. Marcy's available.
Enchantress.
Is Marcy actually just going to be ignored? My goodness. LGD have a chance to get Primal Beast and Marcy here. EG go for the Enchantress and the Faceless Void, so really setting up their draft early. And now that you have this early Faceless Void, there are a bunch of heroes that you can pick to complement that. You know, you can go Invoker, you can go Snapfire, get a Scarif Mage.
5 seconds remaining.
Heroes that can just output a lot of damage inside that Chrono. Death Prophet is still available. Death Prophet's still available, yeah. So LGD deciding probably here whether they want the Marcy. At the moment, using a lot of their reserve time to decide if they just want to take that obvious second pick or it's just going to go ignored. Yeah, they'll ignore it. So Marcy ignored in the first phase, picks and bans. And Doom will be taken. Now, Doom's one of these heroes that will always guarantee yourself a little bit of farm as you're moving towards the later game.
Turn to ban.
He's always going to have the Devour, probably work himself towards a Midas, and even if he has a terrible game, Doom will still scale.
PSGLGD's turn to ban.
And you can see the second round bans coming very thick and fast now. So Bat and Invoker being both removed for LGD. Bat, Incredible Vision, sets up for the Faceless Void. And really, as a Faceless Void, you don't want to be the initiator. You want to be the one who goes in second. So if you've got a Bat or a Beastmaster, something you can go in and just nuke down first. And then you follow up with the Chrono. That's really what you want. So removing that alternative initiation for Evil Geniuses. They also get rid of the Invoker because of the damage that can be inside a Chrono, particularly if you get to the Cataclysm, and yeah, that's just insta deaths for anyone inside a Chronosphere. EG removed the Drow and the Lone Druid. Two heroes that benefit a lot from a lot of the space making. Now,
10 seconds.
Primal Beast and Doom, I mean, it could be a mid and an off lane, and we could see the next two picks from LGD being supports. But maybe one of these two is a 4. You know, is it a Primal Beast 4? The Doom 4, possibly. It wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility. Certainly something to be considering for the side of EG if that's what LGD are thinking. But I don't see an issue with a mid Primal and an off lane Doom at this stage. Primal's very good against Enchantress. You don't need to hit the Enchantress, you just run all over her. That'd be Dawnbreaker removed. Excellent, man. It's the Marcy. Like it's just been left uncontested. Marcy was not touched for a pick phase and 2 ban phases, and EG go, hang on a second. There's this Marcy hero that's a little bit broken. I think we'll just grab it. Just grab it.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Dawnbreaker was taken out to avoid the good combo with the Faceless Void. You know, you can just follow up with the Solar Guardian on top of the Chrono. I mean, it's actually quite a good counter pick as well to the Faceless Void. Because you can just Solar Guardian anyone who gets Chronoed, but they've already decided they've picked probably their offlaner here, either the Primal Beast or the Doom. So we'll be just removing it from the side of EG. EG also get rid of the Shadow Fiend, so they're really trying to get rid of those strong timing-based right clickers that just want to kick off early and take some towers. Because as a Faceless Void draft, you don't want to be run at. You don't want to run out of space. You want Faceless Void to have enough space on the map for quite a long time. Okay, so it's Slark and Lich. Interesting. So they've really shown their hand here, LGD, with what they want to go for in this draft. I think this means that the Doom or the Primal is a support, you know, Lich 5, and then maybe a Primal Beast 4, just try and get enough value out of this hero from the 4 position. You really do want your Doom to scale quite well, so yeah, I think and that's maybe where we're going towards, and we're waiting for a last pick from LGD. That's a mid. EG on the other hand look like they'll have their 2 supports in the Enchantress and the Marcy. Marcy can be offlane, POS 3, but he's just really good in. You get a lot of value from that POS 4 role. You almost don't need to have it in the POS 3 role. In fact, it's almost going a little all in to put the Marcy on 3. You're a lot safer to put it on the 4. You've got long range initiation, good damage to follow up as well, decent ganking potential, good in lane. As long as you have a laner that can either has a stun or a slow, you can really take advantage of Marcy's early levels. Yep, and there's Enigma again, just being completely ignored. So, as I said, the meta has shifted already in TI11 group stage. And maybe it's because these teams haven't been playing a lot of matches. Some of these teams haven't played officials for months. You know, while all these regional qualifiers and last chance qualifiers have been going on. Some of these teams have just been not even in the picture in terms of officials. Yeah, they're going to be scrimming. But in terms of official matches, they haven't had many, if any at all. And the Enigma, they got Enigma, Marcy, and Faceless Void all on the same team. EG feel like they're just cheating at the moment in this draft. How do you get all these heroes in the same draft? If you saw a draft like this in the last chance qualifiers, you'd have to have wondered what happened to the ban phase.
Geniuses turn to ban. PSG.
So last ban phase, did a leaner remove from LGD. They know that both sides here are looking for a mid. So Lina removed, Pango removed. Not going to be many left available. Puck is still there. Puck's pretty good with the Enigma and the Faceless Void. You know, you got lots of AoE spells to chuck on the ground. Looks pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if it is banned out. I mean, Puck's pretty good for both teams, actually. The Chain Frost as well as the Primal Beast. You know, just charging through, you can knock them out of the coil, snap the coil. Miny's banned. All of the Spirit Brothers are available. We got Storm Spirit, Ember Spirit. Void Spirit. Earth Spirit's there as well, not that we'd likely see him as a mid. There are lots of heroes to
remaining.
pick for this mid lane. Queen of Pain's actually been ignored so far through the draft as well. I mean, Quap had looked pretty good for the side of EG, just offering a little bit of additional damage inside that Chrono or the Black Hole. Enchantress and Marcy are two heroes. I haven't really talked about Enchantress much, but when you look at Enchantress and Marcy, these are two supports that are really going to scale hard into the late game. Marcy can kill a Slark late game. BKB Basher, maybe with like a +1, you can just get the job done. Like, it is insane the amount of damage a +4 Marcy will do. Like, Enchantress with the impetus hits. Yeah, maybe the Slark gets off the Shadow Dance, but you can't really turn and fight. It's too much damage. Let's track we take. Puck, Quap, any of the spirits, there's lots available here. I mean, unless someone wants to go for a Necro mid, try and look for more of a grouping up strategy, but I don't think EG be doing that. There's the Puck, yeah. I said Puck looks exceptional for both teams. In fact, maybe EG were hoping to get the Puck themselves, and that's why they didn't ban it out. But if you don't have that first pick on the last phase, you got to get rid of the scary one. And Puck, I think, was certainly the one that was standing out to me as being really good for both drafts. Quap is available if they want to grab the Queen of Pain for EG. Storm Spirit's the mean, right? The meme. Bulba's there, the coach, probably espousing the effectiveness of the Storm Spirit. We got 7 seconds. Don't do an Insania. Ember Spirit. Good damage. Good damage for the Chronos. We can slide a fist on top. Follow up. And it's an Arbed Ember Spirit, which is just one of the classics. I have to say, both teams looking pretty scary with their drafts, but you got EG who are rocking a Black Hole and a Faceless Void and a Marcy. Oh my. As I said before, it looks a little like they're cheating with this draft. And similarly for LGD, they've got a Primal Beast, a Puck, got their hands on a Slark. Slark's probably going to struggle unless he gets a really good lane, and if it's against a Marcy Enigma, that lane's going to be pretty scary. Lich is likely to maybe just get killed over and over again. Gotta be careful if you come in on the Lich, he gets the Ice Armor off, and then you do get the Lich kill, but Armage's just there essence shifting the whole time while you're trying to get that kill. That can be a potential issue in that lane, so in that case you just go on the Slark. I think you just go on the Slark, rebound in, dispose back, and that lane looks pretty easy. I mean, any lane with a Marcy +1 is scarily strong. Looking to our predictions, I think EG have got this. 2-0. 2-0 to EG would be my prediction in this game. Oh, EG smoking down the mid lane just to get out a little bit of vision to begin with. Fly will find his smoke dispels as he walks onto the low ground. He doesn't have any vision on him himself. He's the bait. Bambi's gone down the mid lane and just baited with the vision. Meanwhile, the obs have been planted either side for the side of EG. LGD actually throw. This is quite an unusual level 1 ward.
Hard to fight.
I rarely would see that ward level 1. This is quite normal. Because it doesn't give rune vision. It doesn't give lane vision. It's not gonna snipe couriers. And it won't even catch potentially rotations from top. So it's quite an interesting level 1 ward. I'd love to know the thinking behind that one. And if you just want to ensure you get your stacks, start stacking, that's fair enough.
The battle begins.
but it will just be 2 and 2. So away we go to the mid lane. Nothing to say on his puck. We'll be laning up against Abed on the Ember Spirit. Let's try and slide a fist, spam him out of the lane. On the bottom side, Arme handling the one Slark, supported by Y on the Lich. They'll be laning against Enigma. Nightfall's Enigma once again, same as we had in game 1, and Crit on the Marcy. In the top lane, Faith Beyond on the 3 Doom, supported by Xingqiu on the 4 Primal Beast. They're up against Arteezy on the Faceless Void, who just do a little bit of right clicking as he jumped off the damage there, and Fly with Enchantress. So it'd be probably some reasonably active lanes. Courier just being micro back there. They maybe have the idea that there is some vision, but there actually isn't. Maybe just predicted that there was a Courier coming out. Look at that damage. Level 1 Impetus. That was a full range, I believe, on Xingqiu, and man, that really doesn't muck around. 8% distance damage pure. In mid lane, Abed 6 and 1 up against Nothing to Say 6 and 0. So both these players highly talented. Don't really have too many issues getting their farm in this mid lane. Fly is behind the tower. We'll start getting trampled. Run himself away. Does take a full trample, but a couple of right clicks. Xingqiu will run him back towards his tier 1 tower, and he'll be just fine. Bottom side, Crit is skillfully denying off the Eidolons, making sure there was no last hits taken there. Was that another deny? Wowzers. Being really diligent with the early farm given away by these Eidolons, making sure there's nothing extra given over to the side of LGD. Really, really diligent play there from the side of EG and that on that off lane. Both Nightfall and Crit just not being prepared to give anything to the side of LGD. Because LGD is the sort of team where you give anything to, they are going to take it and do with it more than you could possibly imagine. This, there isn't no level in the bash just yet. So time dilation plus the lift and the jump. Healing aura, has a heal on Faith Beyond, looking to stay alive. Doesn't get the Ember creep, the mana aura plus mana burn creep. That one, if you get that one on the Doom early, it pretty much instantly wins your lane, but fortunately for him, wasn't able to grab that one up. The creeps are heavily contested in the top lane with an Enchantress and a Doom, so jungle camps really are important for both sides. And now that I say that, come to think of it, this is probably why this ward was planted here, just to contest the jungle camps for both sides, and just to see what creeps spawn so you can go back and grab them. If that's the one that you really want. So yeah, I think I figured it out. I think that was the ward vision, just so you can see the jungle camps, so Doom knows whether it needs to go back and grab that, devour up a creep. Bottom side, there will be the Frost Armor. Armor will be thrown back with the Dispose. Nightfall has plenty of regen left, couple of tangos. Pretty even passes over a shared tango to him. Level 2 in Essence Shift even. So really committing on doing well in this lane. Normally you see the Dark Pact being leveled up reasonably early, and really Dark Pact against Maleficus is pretty good. Maybe he's just pretending that he's got it, but really doesn't. That's a double Courier kill there from Crit. Yeah, he's got the boots. Water runes will spawn. Both mids get to refill their bottles and they'll be back on their way. So jumping forward now, the time dilation has a level in time lock. He needs some bashes. He can't buy one at the moment, Arteezy. How many times has he hit? That's about 7, 8. He eventually gets the bash. One more right click would get the job done. Fly's trying to cut across. Arteezy duking down the trees. We'll find him there. Creeps might block. One more right click gets the job done. There's the first blood from Arteezy over on the Faith Beyond. And actually, can he get a few more bashes here? No, not quite. If he got a bash as the onslaught was charging away, that would have been pretty insane. Meanwhile, Puck dies mid lane. Abed just gets the kill with the Slider Fish, just spamming it out. Well, not even level 6 yet. That's an insane kill. And now we'll just go and heal up and you're ready to go once again. Nightfall with level 2 in the demonic conversion. Pretty strong now. Can harass Ame back anytime he comes up. And he's actually going to fight underneath the Midnight Pulse here. This is not good for Ame. There'll be a couple of spells tossed underneath the tower and Ame just die. He's jumping forward now from crit. Trying to get onto Y. I mean, you really don't want to fight underneath that Midnight Pulse. An early level in it. I'm not sure that Ame was expecting the Midnight Pulse so early. Hunting down the Eidolons, but you gotta be careful not to go too far here. Fritz may be looking at throwing back underneath the tower. Will take one hit. The Malefice, the Dark Pact, if he wants to use it, but probably won't. It's only got one more tick and he'll be fine. Mid lane, InQ's been found with the Centaur Conqueror. Will expire in a moment. Fly will wander back towards the top lane and secure Abed to regenerate. Will use mid lane. Onslaught, charging through. It was broken. Thinking, yeah. Not quite enough burst. The other just remnants away. There's a couple of bolt charges and he's good to go. Bottom lane. Why thrown back in underneath the Midnight Pulse, and the right clicks will probably just get the work done here between the Eidolons and the heroes. Another death on the side of LGD. It's 4-0 now for EG. 2K net worth lead early on in the game. Coming forward with the time dilation, level 1. 2 levels in the bash now. If they could try to get onto him here, there's actually a TP from crit. They'll be the rebound. Expose back if they want it. There it is, as well as I was going to call it the tag team, but it's not. It's the sidekick. It's the other one that's like tag team. Sidekick, giving a bit of damage over to Faces Void, and Arteezy can get the job done. 5 now to 0. And already this game 2 is kind of looking a little bit like game 1. Y steps up, takes a significant amount of damage just from the Sleight of Fist. InQ moving into the mid lane. Quill is committed again. Can they get the kill this time? Doom's coming. Actually, the shackle stops InQ from coming in to clear the hold. He remnants away the last right. He might be able to get away. I bet he's still alive. Bonus movement speed from crit. I mean, that's a 4-man rotation. And they get nothing out of it. Arteezy TP's in, maybe thinking he can use a chrono. Still thinking about it. He probably wants to use it. Nothing to say. He's full mana. Needs to be a little bit careful. Crit off to the side. Another onslaught being charged up. This time he might be caught, and I think he probably will. There's the... Oh, he walks away. Still alive. There's a chrono. They have to be careful. Crit 6-0. Still no deaths on the side of EG. I think they possibly could have committed for that kill, but decided it was wiser to back off. And once again, we have a Nightfall Enigma that is just completely uncountered this game. There is no ability that's just going to instantly cancel this black hole once the BKB is online. And yeah, we have a Doom, but it's a little bit hard to... It's not a classic black hole canceller, you know. Cast range is reasonably small. It's pretty tricky to cancel a black hole with a Doom. Still a chrono. They're looking for Ame. Between Fly and Arteezy, they might have the damage. Pops it. Gonna dance. Gonna block him up. He's trying to heal. I think Arteezy's gonna go for it with the right clicks here. In fact, he might not even need the chrono. He's just gonna click him down. The threat of the chrono. It's threat of the chrono. Threat of the black hole. You don't even need to use the abilities. So last hit on the bottom tower there from Nightfall. 7-0. 4K gold net lead now to EG. It just is growing quite quickly. All around the map. Kills are falling to the side of EG. I'd love to just get on the board, LGD, just to feel like they're doing something. Actually coming in now with the bounce chrono, probably defensively. Do they want to turn around and try and deal the damage? I think they will onto Y. There's not even a Doom available just yet. He's only level 5. Faithion runs in, but runs in to not really do anything. And Arteezy Uses the chrono, gets a kill, and he'll happily run back to base. No issues for him at all. 8-0. We're just gonna keep the counter going, you know. Top tier 1 will fall. Arme will collect that last hit. A little bit extra gold into his pockets. These mid-tier 1s are going to be heavily contested. This is what both teams want to remove on the map. That they have more freedom with how they can gank and pressure the farming patterns of their opponents. With his use, there is a catapult hitting Eidolon's Arc. Yeah. Nightfall, Black Hole ready. Vladimir's offering the regen up. What the hell? Really shards. Catches with the rebound stun. Throws with the disposed back, and Primal Beast just goes down. So many times Abed's just catching with the level 1 searing change as the Primal Beast charges in, and I mean, it feels pretty disappointing as a Primal Beast to just be cancelled every time you're charging in with that onslaught. He's just not getting any value. Boom has been used onto the Ember Spirit. I actually think he used the wrong Remnant that time. Deny actually from Arteezy. They don't even get the kill. They keep the perfect streak going, and now Arme is in trouble with all the bashes. He'll die. TP out from Faith Beyond behind the trees. And now we have 10-0. Still in favor of EG. 5k net worth lead. Yeah, I'm not sure then if Abed intended to come back or he just misclicked on the remnants, because he did have one in the mid lane and he quickly came back to the one where he got doomed. So didn't work, didn't end badly at all for him. Moving through onto nothing to say. He's getting pretty aggressive with the chains. Well committed. Stun, onslaught onto Abed. Crit is getting reasonably low this time. I think he's probably going to die. Actually turns around with the unleash and he's healing up. He'll be perfectly fine. 12-0. Chains. Continue the chase. Crit has a couple more hits if he can get the job done. Feared in with the gaze. And they're just still chasing. I mean, this is Abed's next to the tier. He's next to the tier 3s. He'll just die with the chains, and now he's still chasing onto Y. Slide Fist almost kills him. And he's just waiting. He wants to do it as well. Abed with it. Going through the double kill underneath the tier 3s. 12 minutes in, and we're at 14-0. 8k net worth lead now to EG. And, I mean, LGD. This is not the script. This is not the script that they were hoping to come into this TI starting with. They're just sort of getting stomped. And mid lane showing here. Side of EG are ready to pounce. Atheon still doesn't even have his Midas. He's still going to commit for it. I mean, I guess once you're that far in, you sort of have to go for it. A top lane is a Chrono. Shadow Dance used. The Chrono and a Black Hole. EP is coming in to support. Y is not even level 6 yet. 13 minutes in. No Chain Frost. He's got the next book queued up. Previous book was used. In the jungle. Atheon will go down. Trying to get towards that Midas, but side of EG just keep hunting him. On the top side. That a Black Hole, not even a Black Hole or a Chrono used. 16-0. I know I'm a bit of a table tennis player. Ping pong, table tennis, whatever you like to call it. And there's a house rule in a lot of places with table tennis where as Puck does look like he's in court as well, Remnant. Forward. But if you go down 11-0, you gotta do a lap around the table with your shirt over your head. Now at the moment we're at 16-0. LGD, they probably don't feel like they need to do laps around the table with the shirt over their head, but they might be feeling that way soon if this game doesn't turn around for them. Charge coming in from Zinq. Coil is coming on Abed, but now it's over, and all the big team fight ultis are there. The side of EG, they just cannot fight into this. Crit's still charging forward. Can he try and get the slow from the unleash? Oh, the Black Hole actually catches the puck with the damage follow-up from Abed. He's actually got a DD rune, so that Sleight of Fist making sure that he dies inside that Chrono. the Roche will fall. And this is still with Chrono Avail inside the black hole. What am I saying? Inside the Chrono. Chrono's up and ready. 18 kills to nothing. I mean, 9K network lead. There's going to have to be a huge turnaround here for LGD for him to even have a chance in this game too. What's the team fight that needs to happen for LGD to have a chance in this? They need to get, let's just say theoretically, they get a Quill on like 4 or 5 heroes. They get a Chain Frost to follow up. Xinq charges through, stuns everyone with the Onslaught. Doom comes out either on Arteezy or Nightfall. And Slark is there hitting the entire time. The question is that enough? Is that enough? And I think, honestly, the answer is no. I don't think it is. I think 3 heroes of EG could probably clean up the side of LG at the moment. Smoke will break it. One catch onto Arteezy. They have any follow-up with the Pulverize and the Chain Frost. They get the job done. They get on the board. That's 1 kill for the side of LGD. 16 minutes in, 1-18. And if anything, it's just a little bit of positive, you know, positivity going their way. Nightfall's closing in. They're pinging it out. They know that Faith Beyond's in. They'll see it now. And this is most likely a dead Doom. Doom comes out for Marcy. Follow up Maleficent, and he's just dead. Doom will go into cooldown. Marcy will walk it off. Will. Misses. Abed's going to walk back in. Shadow Dance being used by Arme. He's got to be careful. There is still a black... Oh, not for another 70 seconds. There is a Chrono. If Arteezy can make his way over. Moving forward still. Abed remnanting. Does have another combo in a moment. There it is. Slight change. Charging forward with the rebound. Stun continues. Pulverize. Will trade his life. Will trade his life. Crit for that last kill, but... I mean, it's all worth it for the side of EG. This tier 2 tower is probably going to take considerable damage, if not go down. And yeah, they're coming back. They're committing for it. Arbeds came back. Nightfall, Black Hole in 38, and we still have a Chrono. You know, EG aren't even taking these fights with all of their big ultis. EG on steroids today? Absolutely. 22-2. Can we get a kill? Can we get a kill for LGD, please? Can we get a 3-2-2 in the score? That'd just be perfect for this game so far. Mid lane. Puck uses the coil, but it's really just defensively to get away. Well, further south, Abed is on top of Y. I don't see a way that he can get out of this unless he doesn't want to commit the remnants. Light a fist. Left. Be fine. Nothing to say. Will on cooldown for 45 seconds. Has got the Witchblade up. Cult Bracelet still. Probably looking for potentially a little more value tier 2 item. Abed, Maelstrom working with the Aghanim Scepter. Actually, well, in the jungle. Arteezy's on the hunt. He's got a Chrono. He'll use it onto Arme. Meanwhile, on the high ground, Fly's got the impetus damage, and it's just too much. They even had a black hole if they needed it, but this Slark, Arme, he's got an Echo Saber, working in a Diffusal. Just doesn't have enough farm yet. Xinq does make it away, or does he? There's Eidolons in the mid lane doing a little more damage. Abed, regen rune, active at the moment. They've committed just a couple of remnants to go forward. Meanwhile, Atheon dies, trying to farm aggressively where EG might not be looking for him, but they do find him out. He has got the Midas, along with the level 4 Devour, so continue to scale. If LGD can spread this game out, there is some chance that they can maybe slowly come back in. But, I mean, that's even pretty optimistic. Against a Chrono and a Black Hole late game that are pretty much uncountered. Marcy Pos 4 that's going to continue to scale. He's working on the BKB already. It's so hard. I'm going to scout it with a Sleight of Fist. He's thinking about it. Thinking about where he might be hiding. Yeah, he tried here. This was a little bit too far south. Back. RTZ looking for Y. Meanwhile, there's probably going to be a fight happening towards the mid lane. There is. Primal Beast will go down as well. Black Hole still available with the blink. BKB not that far away. And Abed will get another kill. Tier 2 tower will look to fall. Aegis is expired.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Bottom lane, nothing to say. Might just show here. He will. There it is, the blink Black Hole following up with the rebound. Do they have the damage to get onto nothing to say? Probably pop the coil down onto 2. Immediate pop. TP out, nothing to say. I think we'll make it. A valiant effort there from Crit and Nightfall. They probably just needed pretty much any other damage source. If Fly had been close enough, they would have got the job done. But I don't think Midnight Pulse wasn't used, which was the right call. If you blink Midnight Pulsed, nothing to say would have reacted to that. Smoked, moving forward. White will dispel on from the high ground as Arme is looking for a kill over onto Fly. I think Enchantress will get caught here, and they're looking forward for more. No coil for 35. Crits, phase booting away. Whip actually walked straight back in. I'm not sure that was the plan. And he'll die, giving a stack over to Arme. Big Chrono now catching onto the 2. Not sure if Artis has actually got enough damage to bring him down. This could be a really good fight for the side of LGD. They're actually going to get the kill. It's a 4-0. LGD take the fight they needed. Against the Chrono, the Black Hole wasn't up. They knew it. They thought that was their moment. They seized it. And now that 7k net worth lead from the side of EG doesn't look that unassailable. The Roche won't be up for at least another minute and 15. And yeah, just a few, maybe just underestimating the amount of damage that LGD had in that situation. Once they lost Fly, I think maybe the call should have been to back out of that situation, but they went back in and looked for a little more and found that they bit off a little more than they could chew. And now the items are flowing out towards Arme. He's close to Ags. Only 1400 gold away, and he'll have the longer range pounce plus the charges. 2 charges. Look at all this gold up. He's actually pretty much going to get it from this creep. Look at the farm. He just went up. Just gained about 600 gold then. There are still issues for LGD. Even with taking a little bit of a team fight there. Nightfall will have a BKB Black Hole with the blink very, very soon. And there's nothing really that can be done to stop it.
Dire are scanning.
Looking, Dreamcoil pierces magic immunity, level 25 for the puck. Just thinking how that works. It leashes the... Yeah, it's not an initial stun, so it would leash Nightfall's BKB Black Hole, but it wouldn't actually cancel it, so... Yeah, there's just nothing they can really do to cancel this Black Hole late game. Zinku almost towards his own BKB, so both POS 4s. Yeah, actually very similar away. Only 500 gold away. It's going to be BKB timings for everyone at the moment. LGD will TP out of this top lane, sensing that there's not really an opportunity there for them anymore to get as much out of the map as they could. And now they're doing a deep smoke from right inside their base to the bottom side. Will they get there in time? Nothing to say. He has gone all forward onto the Marcy. Down she'll go. RTZ with the time dilation and the bashes will find the puck. So not really the sort of trade you want to take from LGD. Now there is Chrono and Black Hole. Rest is still smoked off to the side. Fighting without the puck seems a little questionable. Ags online. It's actually a DD for Arme. They might want to take this. They're leaping forward. Full staff away. Actually doesn't have the mana. The Diffusal Blades remove the mana. Doom comes out as well onto the Enigma. Well, Wise used the Chain Frost. It is bouncing around, but moving forward, they'll get the kill onto the Lich, take out the Spire. And all in all, EG will be very happy with that. They still have Black Hole, they still have Chrono. BKB is online for Arteezy, BKB as well for Nightfall, BKB for Arbed. So this next fight they take, they are very, very strong. Shina gets BKBs off, as well as Crit. Crit's got BKB coming out. It's on the Courier. Roshan will look like it'll fall. It's a shard. Arteezy will most likely grab that. Yeah, he's making a couple of spaces. So get the shard, get the upgraded Time Warp, so he can reverse it, as well as an additional 150 cast range. And he's feeling very, very strong with that little increase in net worth and survivability out the Aegis.
Dire structures are fortified.
Lincoln Sphere coming up next for Abed, looking to counter that Doom as best as he can. Nothing to say. Playing with fire in this mid lane, has got the Kaya working towards the Sange. Isn't going for any strictly defensive items. No Yules. With the Malefice, nothing to say. Really just black holing on the spot. I think they'll probably get the kill. They will! Nightfall not messing around at all. He knew that the orb had been used and just committed it. There is a buyback. On nothing to say if they want to go high ground. I'm not sure they want to commit it. In closer towards that Sange, but
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Not there just yet. Specialist Array on Fly actually gives him a decent chunk of additional damage, as well as the impetus hits. Lift is committed. Wire will continue to defend with the Spire and the Ice Shield. But EG will back up. They're content with what they got there. A little bit of damage. Just forcing LGD back into their base. And with a Midas on Arteezy, he's going to continue to scale so much faster than this Doom is.
Speedy rune of haste.
Let's have a look at the items of LGD if they're getting anywhere. So we do have the BKB on Xingqiu working towards the Agnum Scepter as well. Why? So poor. Wants an Netherlands just to maybe have the longer range on the Sinister Gaze, really, but top lane. There's a Chrono. Shadow Dance was used. But ulti for ulti. And I think he's still going to go down. Yeah, with a couple of choice bashes, impetus damage from Fly, and Ame just can't survive. So Chrono used to kill Ame. It was a black hole used to kill Nothing to Say. EG have no qualms throwing out the long cooldown ulti to get rid of the cores of LGD, because they know that they are just scaling way better into the late game. And while that core's dead, they can take map position, squeeze out the farm a little bit more, maybe hit a tier 2 tower, and just be pretty much fearless on the map. Up into the high ground. There is a big Chain Frost. We'll actually get the kill. Bouncy, 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 bouncy. Win the Spire, but he's still going to die, and that was just the Aegis on Arteezy. And BKB now from Nightfall. BKB's been popped from everyone. Rebound from Crit doesn't. The job done as Doom has his own BKB. I was going to say, on the back line, straight on top of Nightfall. BKB now from Xingqiu with the Pulverize. They'll get the damage done onto the Enigma. But Arteezy still left unchecked in the fights. Arme's joined, trying to get the Essence shifts off with the Shadow Dance. And PG just taking their way out. Still chasing, nothing to say. No coil. I'm almost surprised Arteezy didn't maybe turn around there in that situation. Being so aggressive on him. Oh, he's thinking about it now. This was a bridge too far. Wants to try and get the damage done. Fake Beyond. Doesn't have a Doom, but there is a Sentinel Stop. Leash. Didn't connected. Crit pops the Unleash. Will happily fight up against this Slark with the Unleash, and they'll get the damage done. Actually goes down. Pulverize onto the Faceless Void. Arteezy gets the Time Walk off. He'll live! With the damage coming out from Abed. I mean, that's a moment for LGD right there. You commit so hard to chase this Faceless Void down, to get the kill, to try and get some turnaround gold. Get that rubber band slinging back in the other direction, and he makes it out on probably, I think, less than 50 HP. It was by the skin of his teeth. Realized he's got a Midas. Arteezy, you need to use that Midas. We did see the Ags being queued up on the Primal Beast. So let's think about what that effect's going to have against EG. I mean, the Time Lock, primarily the Untouchable. Yeah, Time Lock and Untouchable are the two that really are going to be impacted by that. I think really just being able to burst the Enchantress is really important for the side of LGD. Otherwise, it's just a nuisance. In the middle of the fight, has a gem, has the Hurricane Pike, can slow people down, deal a lot of damage as well. So you can just burst through this Enchantress because it doesn't have a lot of HP. And that would be really, really impactful for the side of LGD. At least give themselves a bit of a numbers advantage. In the mid lane, Smoke comes out. It's 3-man from LGD. EG have to know that something's up here. Oh, they see the ward planted down. They know the smoke's come out. Crit and Fly will just run a little faster away with the rebound movement speed.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And we're now at a 6k net worth lead. So the bleeding has been staunched for LGD. They're no longer trailing faster and faster in this game. But if we extrapolate this in the game, there's a black hole and a chrono on one side, and there isn't a black hole and a chrono on the other side. And certainly you'd be favoring the side that has these big AoE ultis as the game goes on later. TZ is now leading the charge under the effect of the smoke. They know there's some vision up on this high ground, so maybe playing around the fact that they feel safe here. But the rest of the team's actually split to the top side, looking for Arme. He's TP'd out. So Arteezy is actually reasonably by himself here in the triangle. I guess there's a remnant close by, and Nightfall is just a blink away. Level 3 black hole as well. He's level 20, but hasn't leveled up the chrono. I guess it's only an extra 0.5 of a second on the lockdown, and it's higher mana cost as well, which could be quite relevant when you think about the Diffusal Blade and just making sure you have enough mana to get that off. So for the time being, just going into the stats on the Faceless Void. That's a 4-man smoke from LG. They get in, they get a 2-man stop initiation. They're following up with the Chain Frost. It's going to be 2 deleted for the side of EG. Abed managed to get a turnaround kill. There's the bash onto the Ember Spirit. We'll just try and fight for the time being. Crit gives him the bonus movement speed, but I mean, he may have just given him life. Abed's going to BKB and TP out. He will get the job done. InQ charging through. Rebound. Gets crit out of the way as well as Fly. And I mean, in amongst the middle of that fight, I saw there's still a tier 1 tower standing here. EG, that shows the amount of map control they have. But that was the 2 cores of EG. Nightfall and Arteezy, 2 big ultis caught in the middle. And disastrous to EG.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Doesn't matter how much net worth you have, how big your spells are, if you both get stunned, I mean, standing on top of each other, follow up with the Chain Frost. It was LGD couldn't believe their luck when they got that initiation. EG, now that net worth lead has just been eroded. It's pretty much equal now. EG still have a 62% win probability according to Gaben. Gaben approved. 20 on Abed means that the 65 Sleight of Fist hero damage is online. Very important for damage inside the chrono or the black hole. But LGD, they've scrapped their way back into this one. No Roshan for 23 seconds. It's close to being up. They probably want to play around this. All the ultis are online. They throw the vision down. Fly will expose himself. So they have vision there themselves. And the side of LGD might suspect that there's a Roshan attempt happening very, very soon. It's going to spawn in 5 seconds. There's a Tomato. Hellbear in the pit. We'll scout it out. And I'll see the Roshan is up now. Arteezy. 20. Careful. Rest of the team is a little bit separated from him. Arme is sort of on the hunt. And Arme's managed to really farm up. If you actually look at the net worth, we got Arteezy at the top, followed by 3 cores of LGD. So Abed and Nightfall have really fallen off in the last 10 minutes. Aegis is up, right back down on the deck. And it's not going to take long. I don't think LGD are in position to contest this. It's already past two-thirds of its HP being gone, and this is going to be an Aghanim Scepter. Who's taking it? On Abed. A blessing. Hasn't consumed it yet. Really? Being caught. Didn't end up consuming that Aghanim Scepter. That's pretty impactful. Does he even know he has it in the inventory? I'm not sure he knows that he has it. I think someone just maybe handed it off to him. Surely he's going to look at his items in a moment and realize.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom side, Xinqiu has been scanned out. He'll show on the lane. Nightfall blinks in. He's used the BKB. Oh, Black Hole is used and then cancelled. Actually, AoE Doom catches on the side of EG. They were ready for this LGD. They're going to turn around. Faith Beyond's in the middle. They may have been ready, but it didn't work out for them. The AoE Doom's not going to save you here, and Crit Fly and Nightfall get the job done. Arteezy's thinking about it. Leaping forward, has an Aegis. Keep chasing forward onto Arme, who is level 20. He's consumed it now. My fret for Abed is now all good. It's consumed the Aghanim's Blessing. And that was the reveal of the AoE Doom on that bottom lane. It didn't really get the job done. Remning straight forward to the base. Abed, no fear at all. There's a huge Chain Frost. It won't be enough though this time to get the burst onto the core. And Wise pretty much used his full load. No Spire again for 15. No Chain Frost for 68. And still on the high ground sits Arteezy. Jumping forward. Just getting the time dilation out. Charge through. Is interrupted from the chains once again, and now the impetus damage, particularly from Fly, will get it done. That's a dead Primal Beast for 60 seconds. The Rax is falling, ranged and melee. Nothing to say, just trying to slow down Arteezy. But Arteezy will not be concerned. We'll just time walk off a bit of damage. Thinking about the bottom lane, will they back up? They might just decide it's only 45 seconds till Black Hole. Why not wait? Why not wait? Ace Rune on Arme. Oops. Closer to the Skadi. Maybe with Skadi he will be able to fight these situations. Grab himself a Courier. Little Courier snag. He'll be on his way out. Lincoln Sphere ready on Nightfall. Doesn't really have as the impact that you really want now. Lincoln Sphere, I believe, also on Abed. I mean, the Doom can just do the AoE cast on himself. So 3 Lincolns. You know what? Lincolns, I always say, Lincolns are stronger together. And you get one Lincoln Sphere, it's not that good. You get multiple Lincoln Spheres, it becomes really hard to cast spells. So you look at the spells that are targeted this game. It's the Doom, although he can just cast it on himself. And it's the Sinister Gaze, Frost Blast, and Chain Frost. Now, if you can just cancel a Chain Frost, that's pretty good as well, in all honesty.
Almighty money.
Or a Sinister Gaze, that can keep you alive. So these Lincolns, well, there's not that many spells that are going to be proccing that Lincoln Sphere. That's generally what you want.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He can't cast it on allies, which is pretty impactful. Actually, Arme looks like he's being caught. He will bounce away. Teasy thinking about the chrono. Comes forward again. There it is. He catches him, tries to TP out on Arme, and look at the damage from Arteezy. That Slark never stood a chance. And realistically, Arteezy hasn't really gone for a whole lot of damage items. it's just the Mjolnir. Like, BKB and Lincolns don't really deal a lot of damage. Faith Beyond will look to TP out, and he will get there in time. Alpha Wolf being grabbed by Fly. Trickster's Cloak dropping for the side of EG as well. Faith Beyond thinking towards an Octarine core instead of the Refresher at this point. And you can see this Doom, he is farming. Midas plus Devour, getting there slowly. Abed's jumped again to the top of the net worth shaft. DD in the bottom river. Either Arteezy or Abed grabbing that DD would be pretty devastating. We still have a black hole. I mean, if it's not the Chrono, it's the black hole there. Yeah, EG know that they probably don't even need both of these abilities to fight as long as they have the one.
Dire's bottom tower.
The AoE Doom is really their only solution to the black hole. They're making their way back. They're not going to try and defend this.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Creeps are pushing in. Abed will TP back. Did he leave himself a remnant? He did. So there's a remnant here for Abed to come back to if he needs it. Has got the shard as well, so you can see it just burn away there. No one scouted that DD in the bottom river, and it will expire in about 30 seconds. Maybe Arme can get there in time. Unless Faith Beyond heads himself north, I don't think anyone's actually going to see this. Always interesting when a team doesn't go on a part of the map for 2 minutes. Really shows where the teams are prioritizing. At the moment, he's controlling the triangle. Look at Arteezy. He's just sitting up here. He's got a Refresher Orb ready. Even his Midas is ready to use, but he hasn't got down off this high ground. Understands he doesn't really even need the farm right now. He's got the items that can do the job. Butterfly for Arme. So did pivot away from the Eye of Skadi. Butterfly will enable him to survive a little bit longer inside the Chrono. Arteezy's looking for another item next, and it might just may be the MKB now that he sees that Butterfly. Overwhelming Blink ready on Nothing to Say with the completed Octarine core. Hasn't gone for the defensive items at all. So this Nothing to Say puck is really saying, I'm going to rely on myself to outplay the side of EG. So far, hasn't really been able to do that, but you never know. You just need to win one good team fight. That's all it takes. You can turn it around. Witchbane also on the Void. Guess the given the consumed Aghanim's Blessing would have amped up Abed's net worth as well. He's got a Hex. He's got a Hex. So instant catch now from the Ember Spirit. Remnant into Hex, actually gonna see. Puck on the side. Use the orb forward and dodges the Chrono. Too quick with the fingers. He's in the trees. They see him though. The jump from Arteezy. They know he's in the trees, moving further off to the side. Blink again after. Oh, look how fast. Oh, actually the Hex now from Fly. There's multiple Hexes available on this team. They will find the puck. And that's a gem. AoE Doom gathering with Arme and Faith Beyond. There's a black hole. It catches on to 3 of them. Can they get the damage besides? I don't know if they have enough with Basis Boy dead. Arme is now just going to work. He's got the Essence Shifts building up. Zinq with the Pulverize. Finds Enchantress. And Crit. He's left all alone. He will die. I mean, it was a puck buyback. Nothing to say. Came back into that one after he died, but was it worth it for the side of LGD to get that catch onto the Faceless Void? And now just straight up onto the high ground. I mean, this is going to be a traded Rax. If not, they could just go throne. They might just go throne here, LGD. If they're feeling it, there's the glyph. There'll be a couple of glyphs to get through. It's difficult. 37 seconds, there's no buybacks. Will they know there's no buybacks? Surely they'll think there's buybacks at this point. Like, we know there isn't. There's no Faces Void buyback. There's a Marcy buyback. They're scared. They're scared. If only they knew. I mean, it's this situation in a game of Dota that you can sit as an observer and go, man, LGD, why don't they just finish the game? There's no one spawning. There's no buybacks. But they don't know that. If they commit under those tier 4s, buybacks come out with black holes and chronospheres, then you just lose the game. Instead, they'll go back for the Roshan. And it's got everything on it this time. So, Cheese, Refresher, Aegis, Ags. Let's try and figure out where it all went to. Slark will pick up the Scepter. I mean, that's a little bit greedy. I'm sure he's going to pass that over to someone else. I mean, the Sinister Gaze on Lich is really good. Got the Cheese, Refresher. He got everything. I think he needs to pass some of that over. There will be the Aghanim's upgrade on Puck. The Waning Rift. Larger radius. Knocks enemies back. Reveals invisible. Not the greatest of Aghanim's upgrades, honestly. I sort of thought they might have given it to the Lich. Because he's never going to get himself an Ags himself. And the AoE Sinister Gaze is pretty insane if you think about jumping in with a Blink Hoof Stomp from the Doom and then follow up with the AoE Sinister Gaze. I mean, that would just be devastating to the side of EG. Arbed's got level 25. Got the minus 12-second restore time. Look at this, just pushing out waves with the Remnant. Both sides just using long-range abilities with the creep wave moving in their direction. Crit level 20 has grabbed the Unleashed movement speed. 20 on Nightfall as well. The Eidolon damage. 20 actually on Fly. He's grabbed the 65 Untouchable slow. That won't be very helpful once Xinq's Uproar hits him from the Aghanim's Scepter with the break. Atheon smoked up in Ninja Gear. His own personal smokes now. Wire's been hanging on to this Philly the entire game, so he's slowly getting more and more gold. That's the Aegis on the side of LGD, and they're looking to fight. Smoked up, it's just nothing to say without, not in the smoke, but of course he's got the Aegis, so he's baiting. X comes out, gonna look for an initiation, gotta be careful. Charging in, there's the black hole. It'll catch just onto one. I think they'll get the damage done onto the Primal Beast. Actually, Arme dies in the Chrono to the south. He buybacks the triple buyback coming out from the side of LGD. And EG will manage to take a huge fight. EP's out. Can they catch any more? Actually jumping back in. Arbed EP's away. I mean, that's huge for the side of EG. Triple buyback coming out from LGD. They didn't claim the Aegis on the Puck. Nothing to say. Did stay alive the entire time. They just pretty much ignored the Puck in that fight. Chronoed the Primal Beast. Oh, sorry, chronoed the Slark and black holed the Primal Beast. And with those two big ultis going off at the same time, not a lot that LGD can do. Pressure's being used, actually. There's another black hole. This might catch them out. They're looking to grab Arme. I think they go for it. There's the Hex. BKB. Black hole. And there's no way that Arme saw that coming. Meanwhile, though, Arteezy died. Communicate from wide. Stun will come out. They'll get out of the range of that Ice Spire. They will eventually take it down. Will Arteezy buy back here? Maybe is the fight for the game. Lich buys back into it. There's the rebound stun from Crit. Disposed back on Xinq. Fly's got the impetus damage trying to come through. BKB from Xinq will eventually get over onto Enchantress. Arteezy's still holding the buyback. Faith Beyond BKB trying to run back. X following up. Damage will be there from Arbed with the Remnants. Charging forward, find another Hex. Forward onto the Doom, and they don't have really anything left. Now Arteezy will buy back. They know there's 3 dead without buyback. They still didn't kill the Puck. Not even once. Nothing to say. Plenty of ability to get away, but there's the Hex. He's caught on the middle of the lane. Will Waning Rift forward. And I think just down the middle lane will EG go. They've committed their buybacks. 2 on the side of EG. They know this is a 3v5. Lich has used his. So if he dies, he's out as well. Nothing to say, doing his best to cut the waves, but I'm not sure it will be enough. They've got a wave here. I think Backdoor is already down. Will comes out, but there's the Hex. Nothing to say, he's been caught. That's the first life. Is there a Chrono? There is. I think they're just going to dump the Chrono on top of that. Yes, they do. There's the Chrono. They catch the Puck. Aeon Disc actually is assembled and delays herself a little bit of time. Stun is there. Crit actually catches the kill, and onto the tier 4s they go. There's no Arme for 14 seconds. There's no way they can defend against this in time. Crit with the Unleash, bursting through. Actually, backdoor. Pops in. There's no creeps. 110 on Puck though. Arme will spawn. We don't have a black hole for 38, although a refresher's ready in 5, so technically they have one. Hex catches onto Arme. Shadow Dance. They kill. This is a... There's the refreshed black hole. They catch the Slark, and Artesia will BKB, and that looks like it will be the game. The creeps are in the base now. Backdoor is down. There's another big ultimate committed with the chrono. And GG's call from LGD, and it's a 2-0 for EG in a little bit of a back and forth game. EG take it. And LGD not where they want to be in this group stage.